Hopefully I'm in frame. Hi, it's Dave. I'm vlogging again. And I share something in common with both Barry and Dan in that we are all writers and creative people and, just doing projects and things like that. And one question that keeps coming up, especially from people who, read my work or from the outside looking in, is, how do you do it? What's the process for writing a book or writing a script or shooting pictures or making music or anything like that? And so I figured I would throw it out to Barry and Dan what their creative process is. And I'm in the weird position because I do a lot of different things in creative fields of having, different things, so therefore by default different processes. So I figured I would talk about writing today. And for me, writing is almost to the point of being an addiction. I mean, if I'm bored, I would probably spend more of my time sitting down in front of a keyboard writing stories than I would sitting down with a book and reading them. It makes me feel like I'm more involved. But to start with, you always have to have an idea or just a concept. I mean, not even so much a concept, just start with a really basic idea. Wouldn't it be neat if, and then fill in the blank as to wouldn't it be neat if this? Or you're walking down the street and you see somebody who's dressed in a way you wouldn't anticipate, and then you wonder, hey, what's going on with that person? And in your mind you sit there and write this background for this individual that you never really expected to see on the street that particular day, but for that moment you can kind of sit there and let your mind wander and wonder what it would be like to be in their life. And to me, it always kind of starts with that. I was talking to Chanel Deck, who edited my novel, and she's going to edit more of my stuff, thankfully. I'm very creative, but I'm a horrible typist, and I am a typo god. I told Chanel that I have an entire folder on G Drive that is nothing but first chapters, where I've sat down and I've written out, the opening chapter 2 or 3 of what could be a novel or a script or something like that. And then, maybe it just kind of fell off. Maybe it didn't have the energy at that point in time. But it's there and it's written down and I can always return to it. Pardon me. And so as a result, you have these ideas sitting down that you can always return to. Always, if you've got an idea, write it down. Put it into a simple place and make sure that you can return to it if need be. The first novel that I put out was something that I started writing like about 4 years ago as kind of a chuckle. And when I was dealing with my initial publisher, I sent her 2 more or less complete first drafts and the first 4 chapters of that thing that I had written 2 years ago. And she decided that she wanted to see more of that thing that I had written 4 chapters of that was just kind of a chuckle. And so I threw all my energy into it, and as a result, I wound up putting a novel out over a period of time. And I'm going to be experimenting with a few other writing ideas and such. I'm going to try blogging out chapter by chapter a story over this upcoming year, so I'll let everybody know when that's happening. But my creative process is basically start with a very basic idea. Wouldn't it be neat if? Or why is that person doing that thing? Or that strange thing that you hear in a conversation. And if it doesn't automatically write itself, don't throw it away. Set it aside, because you can come back there a year, 2, 3 years later, reread those first few chapters and go, oh, there's that thing. Let's try that. And you can come back to it with fresh eyes and a new set of energy, and also with a new set of experiences that you can put into a story. And yeah, so that's kind of like part 1 of my take on the creative process. So, Daniel, Barry, tell me about yours. I mean, I know that Barry's tends to involve tequila and melatonin, but I understand it's not like mine oftentimes doesn't involve Bushmills. So with that, feel free to respond. I would love to see anybody's takes or comments and such, and hope to talk to you soon. This is going to be a great jump cut, by the way. Yep, totally.